Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing an oil change on this 2009 Toyota Tacoma pre-runner. Before we get started, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to give me that thumbs up to help with the YouTube algorithm. And I'm going to go over some tools you'll need here in just a moment. So before you get started, here's going to be some of the tools you're going to need. Some type of strap wrench to remove the oil filter housing, a 3/8 ratchet, torque wrench. I have mine preset for 30 foot-pounds, 14 millimeter bit, 5W30. I'm going with fully synthetic. You need almost 7 quarts. This right here is going to be your oil filter, some brake cleaner, and then of course a light if you want to use a light. You don't actually need to use these wheel ramps. I'm just putting mine on wheel ramps here just so it's a little bit easier for me to film. You can probably do it just laying on the floor. Don't forget to get one of these little drain pans, or at least something that can hold all the oil when you drain it out. So to get started with this DIY, make sure you get your car up to operating temperature. We're gonna go ahead and pop the hood first. It's over on the driver's side, of course. Okay, go to the front of the hood. Go over to the front of the car. There's a latch right down here where this logo is. Right there. Probably won't see it, it's kind of dark. Give that a tug. Alright, I'm gonna have to put the camera down. I'm just gonna put up the hood stand right here. Up there. So what you want to do now is just locate your oil filter along with the refill area. So this right here is gonna be your oil filter. This right here is where we're gonna put more oil in. So just loosen that up. Put it somewhere safe. Let's get under the car. So now we're going to get under the car. So from the front side, get under the car. You should be able to see your drain bolt right there. 14 millimeter bit, back it out. Alright, let that drain out. So it's pretty much done draining right now. Forgot to mention, make sure you change the little washer. Forgot to mention that at the beginning of the video. Change it every time so you can avoid leaks. So I'm going to get this back on. Still leaking a little bit or dripping a little bit. I'm just going to go ahead and button it up. I'm comfortable with where it's at right now. I'm trying to get all this done before it gets too dark. Where's that torque wrench? Alright. You don't have to torque this on, although the manual I believe says 30 foot-pounds. But I like to try to do things as close to spec as possible. Alright, good to go. Let's go ahead and go remove the oil filter. Now we're back up top. We're about to remove the oil filter. You'll notice at the very bottom where my finger's pointing to, there's a little nipple. I'm going to put a water bottle right up next to it so it drips into the water bottle so I don't make too much of a mess. This little tray here is going to collect everything from this filter and it's going to go through this little nipple right here. So I know I showed the strap wrench at the beginning. This type of oil filter removal tool is actually a little bit easier to use, so you don't have to take off this cover. So I'm just, once I get this loose enough, I'm going to do it by hand. Pretty loose now. Just get that little cup I showed you earlier, or bottle I showed you earlier. Try to get it on that nipple again. camera over so you can see what I'm talking about. See how they have that water bottle right there under that nipple? It's just collecting all the oil that's coming from the oil filter. Otherwise you're gonna make a big old mess. So let that drain out. I'm getting ready to reinstall the new oil filter. Make sure you wipe and clean up the mating surface here. I just put brake cleaner on a microfiber rag and I just wipe it dry. I'll go ahead and get all the stuff ready. I normally would fill this up a little bit, but I'm just going to primer it, get the rubber O-ring gasket wet so it has a better seal. Just like that, nothing too crazy. Okay, let's go get it reinstalled. Okay, I don't have the spec on this as far as how tight it needs to be on, so absolutely check your owner's manual. I'm going to do mine pretty much hand tight. You really don't have to crank it on there, but of course if you want to follow spec on the filter, check your owner's manual to find out what the torque setting is. Alright, we are going to go ahead and fill this back up. I'm going to fill mine up with 6 quarts first. It should take close to 7. And then I'm going to top it off. Okay, 6 quarts are done. I'm going to go ahead and crank the car, and then I check for leaks under the where the oil drain plug is. So everything on mine looks pretty much good to go. It takes pretty much the full 7 quarts as I mentioned before. Everything is pretty much buttoned up at this point. I highly encourage any DIYer to do this on your own. Super easy. Great way for you to save a little bit of money, get some quality fluids in your vehicle, and happy long engine life. Make sure you hit the like button if you like this content. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and I will see you on the next one. Leave your comments or questions below for the group. Thanks.